Episode what? 412. I'm gunning after Rogan. I'm running so fast. I'm trying to get to 2,000 so quickly. But, not in a rush. Not in a rush. Like doing this. Listen, guys, I'm going to give you a little gift. Okay? Episode 2001. Let's say you like listening to Joe Rogan talk about UFOs. I'm going to give you a little gift. I'll give it to you at the beginning. You go to 2 hours. This is the timestamp. 2 hours until 2.5 hours. 30 minutes. They only talk about UFOs. There you go. I know some people like to just hear a nice high chunk of time of people talking about UFOs. You got it. Joe Rogan and a super famous comedian talking about UFOs. And the comedian is not like one of these guys who's like, nah, I don't know. No, he's a full believer, like more so than Joe. So it's incredible. But let me just show you guys to the store really quick. We got the Soul Not For Sale stuff. We got the anti-WEF stuff, and we have the Great Resist stuff. Just going to show you a t-shirt. Check it out. This is the Great Resist t-shirt. Get it while it's hot outside, not just while this is hot, but while it's hot outside. Then we have the Soul Not For Sale. Let's check out the t-shirt. This one is just great. I love it. I love the motto Soul Not For Sale. It's the name of the podcast. Then let's check out the very last one, and that is the anti-WEF one. This one is a patented FU to Klaus Schwab and everyone who attends Davos every single year to plan our, in their minds, imminent demise. Now, if you are one person who has purchased anything from that website, we thank you tremendously. Thank you so much. That website is IamCoachColin.com. Discount code IamCoachColin. All one word, all capital letters, 1 L in the Colin. Okay? Now let's get into the clip. You're about to hear Joe Rogan start talking about PSYOPs. Yeah, he's getting real conspiratorial in this one. He's talking about PSYOPs. And I want to explore this. I'm going to look at this from the perspective of this is a PSYOP that's been going on in the news lately with all the UFO stuff. Let's take that mindset, because in what world, before I go, in what world are we trusting the government? Is there any real thing that you can trust the government to do or not do or tell you the truth about? I don't know. I don't think I can think of anything. Pretty much everything that they do, you can kind of think about it and go, well, they would lie about that. Like if it has any attachment to money and if it has any attachment to power, it's kind of up in the air. I can't really think of anything where they would just tell you the truth. I don't know if that's happened in the past 4 decades, 3-4 decades, quite honestly. But let's get into the clip, hear what Joe has to say. Let's go. What?
World start in 2 seconds.
Yes.
People are gunslingers with their cameras.
Right. Why wouldn't you be a gunslinger when there's a fucking UFO in front of you?
That'd be the first.
I know. Instantly. Like, what is that? That'd be the first thing. You going out in the backyard and you're not going to.
There's no reason why there shouldn't be more footage, more clean footage. Because it's always grainy. It's always messed up. It's a shadow. It's a bush. It's, so I'm like.
Here's my problem with it. My problem is that I want it to be real. And I know a lot of people want it to be real. And I also know it's an amazing distraction. It's an amazing distraction for a bunch of ways. Like, let's imagine that what we're actually looking at is some United States military vehicle that they have developed secretly that operates on some different kind of propulsion system, some sort of gravity drive or something. And maybe it's a drone. And they can shoot these things across the sky at insane rates of speed, but they don't want to admit they have the technology. What better way than to say that we're being visited? What better way? Like, if you really were going to hide technology, if you had bases under the sea where you had hypersonic drones that just shot through the sky, and you couldn't even follow them with your eye. If you had those, what better way to hide it than to say
smoke and mirrors over here?
Yeah, and then have a few whistleblowers come out and have these guys, well, I can tell you definitively that we have recovered 12 crashed UFOs. I know it sounds crazy. Like that kind of stuff, makes me wonder. Like, that's how I would do it. If I wanted to dupe people into thinking that these things that maybe they occasionally see that we operate, that they're not ours because we don't have that kind of capability. If I was going to lie about our capability, which maybe you should, and maybe they've done before with like the stealth bomber, remember? They fucking developed that bitch. People thought they were seeing UFOs when they saw that thing fly around. You ever seen one of those in real life? Woo!
It's pretty cool.
Pretty fucking cool. I would say that they're UFOs. That's what I would say. Like, they don't tell the truth about anything, right? They never tell you about top secret stuff that you really don't have. What are you going to do with the information that UFOs are real? What is the general public going to do with it? Jack shit. They're not going to do anything. So if they had it, why would they tell us? If they really had irrefutable evidence that this something is off-world vehicle, it comes from another dimension, it comes from another planet, why would they tell us? They would only tell us if they have to tell us. Or they would tell us the stuff that they have is actually from another planet because they don't want people to know what they can do yet. That's what I would do. I mean, if I had a history of deception, I would be deceiving people about that. Or it could be really aliens, and that's the problem. And I know me, and I want it to be aliens real bad. Real bad. So I will not be objective when I look at that subject. I am always going to be hopeful. I'm always going to be having fun with it. I'm always going to be thinking that it's probably real. I believe the pilots.
I think the math says it all. I mean, it's the universe is so massive. I mean, it's so massive. How can we be the only ones?
We may not be. We might be visited. And it might be a combination of both of those things. It might be some of those things are our drones, and it might be some of the things are not ours. And maybe some of the things are from other countries as well. And maybe some of those things are from another planet. Or maybe from some life form that we haven't established that has bases in the ocean. Because there's a lot of these, at least one of them they got on video, that is a craft that was flying in the air and then went into the ocean. It didn't even make a splash, just went right in the ocean.
Like a diver, yeah.
Like, what is that? Is that bullshit? I don't know. It's kind of blurry. Like, I wish it was clean, but it was miles away, and they're, using infrared footage at night or whatever, their night vision at night. Who knows? Who fucking knows? The problem is I want it to be aliens. That's the problem. So I'm like, bro, there's so much evidence now. And I even talk to people like Michio Kaku, who's this physicist, this brilliant guy, and he's saying that there's more evidence that they exist than that now it's up to the people that don't think they exist to try to prove it wrong, because there's so much visual evidence, tracking data. But I'm always like, what if they've been working on some stuff? What if they were just scooping up top scientists and fucking they've got some sort of plan for some different propulsion system and it's operable, and they've been working on it for decades in secret? What if that's the case? That seems like it could be the case.
But if the technology is that advanced, then where did you get it?
Well,
like I get it.
Where did you get it? Listen. I just told you that I was going to look at this from a PSYOP perspective, but I can't. When he says that there's a ship that went into the ocean and didn't make a splash, I can't do it, because what did they say about Atlantis? I know he's bringing up Atlantis. Who is this guy? But they said Atlantis, it moved. They said it was a piece of land, like, almost the size of a continent, maybe a little smaller. It moved and it went into the ocean, and people just decided that this super advanced race of people all died and perished when it went into the ocean. But in reality, maybe they were just like, these people on the surface are just too much. They're ridiculous. They're terrible. And none of them can keep up with us. So why don't we just go underwater? Maybe that's what they did. And maybe they're down there to this day. Who knows? But you're telling me that things, and the thing about it is, Tucker Carlson said this exact same thing. Tucker Carlson was talking about many accounts that people are seeing these things go up in the air and then go into the water. Into the water, they don't come out again, they stay in the water. What's going on? When it comes to the surface of the earth, when it comes to the water, in terms of which has more room, us on top of this crust of this planet or the water, it's the water 1,000,000%. and we have not explored much of the water. How much of the water have we even explored? I can't wait till I have my own Jamie. Anybody who wants to be my own Jamie, please let me know. How much of the ocean have we explored? I want to say 7%. That's what I want to say. More than 80% of our ocean is unmapped. Look, I'll even bring that to you guys, just so you guys don't think I'm just talking shit here. Boom. Bring that down for you guys. More than 80% of our ocean is unmapped, unobserved, unexplored. Much remains to be learned from exploring the mysteries of the deep. Come on. And that's from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Jeez, that's a whole bunch of, that's a long title. But see what I mean? You see what I mean? We haven't even explored any of it. So that tells me a lot right there. And I know you're just like, what does that actually tell you? It tells me that there could be a ship down there. Let's just say a ship, and we would never know. There could be a base down there, and we would never know. There could be a town down there, and we would never know. We just would never know. Or it could be to the point where you go underwater. You break through this barrier, because there is a barrier. If you don't know, there is it's a weird water barrier that if you break through, the water's different. I believe it gets hotter. I'm pretty sure. And you break through this barrier, maybe it's down there. I don't know. I do not know. But I can't. I want to stay with the PSYOP. I was trying. I want to go with the whole government thing. I want to do it. But if you bring up anything that sounds like Atlantis to me, I've done too many mushrooms, too much acid in my life to not think about Atlantis when I hear things like this. I apologize. We'll touch on the PSYOP thing a little bit. I said at the beginning, the government, Joe was on the same wavelength. I didn't even know he said that, but it's true. They don't tell us anything. They lie constantly. We catch them in lies. Nothing happens. They watch us. They surveil us. They lie about where money goes. They do all sorts of things like this in not just the U.S. government, not just Canadian governments all around the world. They're constantly doing that to the people, arguably because maybe the people can't handle the truth. But another side of it is because they're in power. Why would you tell them? Like if I have a little baby running around right now, if there's a little 4-year-old running around right now, I'm not going to tell him where the Snickers bars are and where the ice cream is. He can't see into the freezer. He doesn't get to know where the ice cream is. Okay? If I choose to show him some ice cream, I will do it. And only when he deserves it. You see what I mean? We're like the 4-year-olds. There's ice cream in the freezer, but we can't even get high enough to see it. And they're not telling us about it for no reason. No little kid knows what mom and dad are doing at nighttime. All they know is that it's time for them to go to bed, and the parents get to do whatever they do. Some parents smoke joints. Other parents might have sex. Some parents are just watching TV. Maybe you're arguing. Who knows? But the kid never knows because the kid's not privy to that information. And I really do think that's how the government treats us. So when it comes to the whole PSYOP thing, I understand that's a possibility. But I also, I believe more that it's real and that the people in power don't have a control or understanding of it than it's just their own technology. I think it's a combination. I think they have technology that they never tell us about, but I also think that there's certain ships and crafts that will, fly around our planet or have passed by that they have seen and they have no control over, and they can't tell us about that because that would send people into a frenzy. If the government was like, we've been being visited for years, and every time this species comes, they're able to disarm our missiles, and we have no control. We can barely see them. They disarm our radars. There's nothing we can do when they arrive. If people heard that, they'd be like, this is crazy. Why am I even listening to you? Why am I even paying you taxes? Some people would just go nuts, right? So I understand that part of it. But for me, it's just like, I don't know. I think it's very real. But I for some reason don't think that I don't think they're meeting with, but you think they're meeting with Biden? Why? You think they're meeting with some guy at Area 51? Why? You think they're meeting with the head of the CIA? What for? They're going to care what the CIA, they don't care. It's, in fact, if an alien came down, think about you. If you came down, if you went to another planet, would you want to talk to the leader? You talk to whoever you wanted to. You'd be like, I don't care. Like, what, I don't even know what a leader is, buddy. Get out of my face. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think it's a combination of everything. There's a little bit of a PSYOP, a little bit of hiding technology, a little bit of stuff going on our own planet that the highest government officials don't understand, military officials don't understand. And then governments lying to each other, secret technology plans. I think it's a big mix of everything. I'll be honest with you. And there's Atlanteans. That's me. Hey, that's what happens when you do mushrooms for decades, you know? You're open to a lot of different things. Like the video, helps boost us out of the shadow realm. We need to be boosted out of the shadow realm. More people need to see these videos. And you can help us do that by hitting that like button. And other than that, and in the comments, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think it's all is. Is it a PSYOP? Is it real aliens? Are there Atlanteans? Let me know exactly what it is you're thinking about. And other than that, I am out.